Our destination, the San Bernardino National Wildlife Refuge, had been established to protect critically endangered freshwater fish species, such as the yaqui top minnow and yaqui chub. Braden and I, though, had come in the hope that we might score some migrating waterfowl, and one particular bird species that could only be found here and one or two other places in the lower 48, the green kingfisher. With their stylish looks, giant bills, and dynamic personalities, kingfishers are some of our favorite birds, and the green kingfisher's rarity would make it an especially vaunted addition to a big year list we hoped would top 250 species by December 31st. The entrance should be right up here, Braden said, studying the map on my phone. Look, there it is, I exclaimed, preparing to swing right into the refuge. I braked and turned, only to narrowly avoid crashing into two locked gates brandishing a sign. Road closed. What? Braden shouted, outraged. You've got to be kidding, I said, slamming my hand on the steering wheel. This is public land. This is a public refuge. I looked over at Braden. Is it a holiday today? He shook his head. I don't think so. Well, crap. Look, it says the refuge is open to foot traffic, Braden said, reading further. We can walk in. After backing away from the gate, I parked the car in an adjacent empty parking lot and we tumbled out. Although a nearby sign and map indicated a hike of only a mile or so to the ponds and riverbed that might hold the green kingfisher, my enthusiasm for such a trek dipped firmly into the reluctant category. Staring across the flat, dry landscape bristling with cholla cactus and mesquite, I could feel serious heat building on the giant frying pan of a desert surrounding us, and I knew it would only grow more intense as the afternoon progressed. What do you think? I asked Braden. His slack body language reflected my own ambivalence, but he said, We're here, we might as well try it. I sighed but nodded. Braden didn't always push himself in situations like this one, and although I didn't look forward to the hike, I appreciated that he was willing to go for it. Let's bring water, I told him. As we readied our packs, I heard the low hum of insects in the surrounding desert, but didn't pay it much attention. I shoved a bottle of water into my fanny pack, slathered some sunscreen on both of us, locked the car, and asked, Ready? Yeah, Braden said, and we stepped over a metal bar and through a fence into the refuge. The humming of insects grew louder, but I continued to pay it little notice. Looking at the large refuge sign across the entrance road, I said, Buddy, go stand next to that sign so I can take a picture. Braden took a couple of steps forward and halted. In a frightened voice, he asked, What are all these bees doing here? What? I glanced up from my camera and for the first time noticed dozens, make that hundreds of bees surrounding us. Even though he had recently turned 13, Braden harbored a serious insect phobia. Usually in the presence of a bee or moth or dragonfly, I calmly encouraged him to relax. Now, alarm bells rang in my head. Because I'd written several books on invasive species, two words flashed through my mind. Killer bees. Relying on my extensive knowledge of invasive species and my acute analytical and organization skills, I quickly formulated a plan. Run!